Today I took 2 trades, both break-even trades, and they both partially worked out, but not quite fully. This one especially was about 1.5 points away from my target and never got there. So just unfortunate. Going in, it's still kind of consolidating here. Yesterday was rejected above this zone. I expected it to break out, but it didn't. It came back into the range and then kind of closed in between the range. But it was an inside relationship on the TPO here, so I thought today might be the breakout day. Maybe not, but yeah, that was a possibility. CPR was slowly grinding upwards, so there was a slight bullish sentiment, I think. Same with cams. So what I said was it tried to break out yesterday, but rejected as supply, made its way back up and closed in the middle. Overnight, it's been rallying and spent some time inside supply, but sold off in the pre-market session. But it's still opening above value. TPO is an inside relationship. And very mixed signals. I don't know what to do. I could long value your high, but also short supply. So it was opening inside the range here, but above value. It also spent some time inside supply and then rejected. So I don't know if that meant it's going to come back in and consolidate, bounce around here again, or if it's going to support here and then try to break out again. So I was kind of confused coming out with the plan. But what I did was I said I was going to short supply or long value area high. So basically that was my plan. Long over here or short somewhere over here, maybe at like 68.86 or so. What I failed to realize was that if it did break out of the range here, then I could take a retest of this yesterday high and then take it long. And that would have been a setup that was very good today, but didn't work out at all. Didn't notice that. So it rallies straight up as soon as it opens, and then goes to R1 and then starts kind of consolidating here. I saw some good short confirmations there, but I was going back and forth between this is a supply zone, by the way, daily supply, so it was in there, but I wasn't sure about shorting this R1 level because the pivots have been somewhat bullish, and so it wasn't really in a downtrend, so I didn't really want to short R1, but it did break out of the range, so especially because it was inside supply, I thought maybe that was a good place to short. So what I saw here was right off the bat, I see sellers come in. I see this CVD hidden divergence making new highs, but price wasn't. Same here, and then 1 minute delta divergence there, still making new highs. Another 1 minute delta divergence there, and at that point I'm in short already. So again, it was at the top of this high volume node, and it forms a 2 minute delta divergence there, and then it tests again, and then forms another 2 minute divergence. So I get in short there with a stop above the highs. I thought it was a pretty good entry. I only entered with one contract though, so when it came back and retested, I decided to enter another one here, right about there. I was close to my original entry. And it kind of works out. It forms another 2 minute delta divergence and then it breaks down. So I'm expecting this to break down all the way to at least value area high here. But it doesn't, and what it actually does is forms a delta divergence bullish here. A bunch of sellers get absorbed. There's a selling imbalance at the bottom over here. Delta divergence on the 20 range, delta divergence on the 2 minute, and also delta divergence on the 1 minute. A bunch of big sellers here that were absorbed here. So I'm in short, but I really don't like that. And I'm into our profit now, so I move my stop to break even. There was also a 5 minute high volume hammer forming right here. So it's a pretty big volume 5 minute hammer. So I don't like that at all. I follow my rules, put my stop to break even, and then I got stopped out here. So in hindsight, I'm looking at this, and this 2 minute or 20-hour delta divergence, 2 minute delta divergence, the whole bunch of absorption at the lows here, 1 minute delta divergence, right here, CVD divergence also, and then this 5-minute high volume hammer. That all points towards, there were good long confirmations, and it was right at yesterday's high and yesterday's open, so it was a good level. It broke out of the range, retested. It was also VWAP too, so, and then it rallied up. So that was a very decent long setup, if I would have noticed it. 1 minute base and candle, also high volume. But yeah, that would have been a very, very good setup if I was just patient enough and not shorted here, then looked for a pullback to get long. But I mean, it was inside supply, so I don't think it was completely invalid, but, and maybe I'm just saying this because it worked out like that, but that would have been a good setup. So now, because of these confirmations here, and it buyers defended the range here at yesterday's high, so now I'm looking for a breakout of this high volume node, and then a retest of that high volume node ledge to get long. But now it's their 7 a.m. news, and I am cautious about entering 2 minutes before news. But the confirmations here were nice. They came back right into that ledge, tested, formed kind of a B shape, and then formed a delta divergence here. So I had all my confirmations for long here, but I didn't want to enter before the news, so I waited until news came out. News didn't really do much, and if I entered over here where I wanted to, then it still would have been valid. Stop wouldn't have been hit yet, so I was looking at getting long here, and I finally got in long a little bit late, but because I wanted to get in around 90, I got in at 91, and that honestly could have been the difference between a winner today and the break even I did get, because my entry was a little bit late here. So yeah, 90, I was thinking about it at 90, I finally get in at 91 here. Yeah, that would have been the difference. So it goes up. My target is at 3R, so it's at 96, and it's right where R2 is, so I thought it was a decent level also. So I thought it would hit it, but 6901 is 2R, so I'm at break even stop already. And it goes 6904, doesn't get there, rejects, does another attempt at breaking out, and then rejects again, and then this time it breaks out all the way to 6905, but never continues on, and then comes back. So I still have my stop at break even because I thought maybe it would bounce at this low volume node here, which is also 50% fib. So it seemed like it was bouncing, and then what happened was that there was a whole bunch of absorption here. Yeah, right there. So there's a bunch of buyers that came in, but pretty much did nothing. This always absorbed it, and then this stopped me out at break even. So I don't know, that this setup would have been good, but I missed that because I was in short, and then I tried to get in, which was at the high volume node, which was valid, and I think it was decent, but I got in a little bit late, and that is what could have made the difference between hitting my target or not. But yeah, not a horrible result from a day where I didn't have much conviction either way.